he would make a perfect husband, but he makes less. So I've gotten this question several times before. So let me address this in the video. I realize I haven't made a video about, I think I haven't. I don't think I have, right? So let's say, for example, you make $150,000 and you're a woman, and the man that you're dating is making, let's say, $100,000, right? So you make about $50,000, let's say $100,000, just to make it clean, right? You make $50,000 more than him, right? And your question is, and let's say your question you're trying to negotiate is, he would make a perfect husband, except for I make more than him, and this is the stats. He makes 100,000, I make 150, right? So this is the other questions that I want you to ask, right? Because when over here, when I'm talking about getting married and stuff like that, I'm not talking about getting married for a very beautiful Instagram video that you're gonna post for the wedding. I'm not talking about 5-year marriages. I'm not talking about 7-year marriages. I'm not talking about 10-year marriages. I'm not talking about even 15. I'm talking about longevity. There are other questions that you must consider, and you making $50,000 is not enough for the gap is not enough for you to make a decision in terms of future husband when we're talking about lifelong relationship. So more questions that I want you to ask yourself is, because you say he's perfect, right? But let's make sure he's perfect in the right categories. Is he a man of great character? I have some notes here. Is he a man of great character? Is he honorable? Is he committed? Right? Is he faithful? Right? Does he have a good heart? A man of a good heart. You know what that is? Is he generous? Because there's a place that people lose the plot. Just because somebody makes more than you doesn't mean that they're generous. A lot of people don't understand that. Generosity is a heart posture. Period. Is he generous when it comes to you? Doesn't mean undisciplined, because men are disciplined by nature. Like a masculine man who takes care of his business, he's going to be disciplined. Men are not like, they're not. But is he generous when it comes to you? Does he take care of you? Do you understand what I mean? Also, is he responsible? Is he a responsible man? Is he disciplined? Does he lead himself well? Is he a hard worker? Some of the traits to look for. You don't have to ask questions. These questions, when I'm asking you these things, you already, especially what's about future husband and stuff like that, as I'm asking you these questions, you already know. He wakes up, go to work, wakes up, go to work, make some money. It's like with men that are being men, it's a repeated thing. You just see it. It's a cycle. It's a dance. Y'all call it boring. It's responsibility. A lot of people don't know better. They haven't even lived with the provider. They haven't lived with a good man to even know. With the man is predictable. Men who are real men, who are leaders, who are disciplined, who are committed, they're on a clockwork. It is any woman that's living with you know what I'm talking about. You see it because that's how men operate. Boom, ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. And when we come in, we're the flow we want. Oh, let's go here. Let's have fun. Let's do this. Why all over the place. That's the energy we give them. That's what we bring. It's like, but it's steady, not crazy, but you get what I'm saying? We that extra, you get. So keeping it to this point. So does he have all the other qualities, right? If he has everything I'm talking about, steady, committed, all that stuff, that $50,000, that gap will be closed. $50,000 is not a lot. I know it sounds like a lot because people make that a year, but it's not a lot compared to what a husband brings to the table. And also, you don't have the final word on how much a man is going to make. I promise you don't. Nobody has that's what he makes right now. I'm saying, but here's the thing. Even if that's all he made, let me just be clear. Even if he's at 100 and you're at 150 and that's it, is he already a good husband? If he is, I would say marry that man. Especially if you describe him as perfect, marry that man. Get out. There's nothing out there for you. That $50,000 in gap is going to be closed with so many other things that you cannot. And I tell you, money can't buy you. And that again is, you have to be very careful who you speak to. When you speak to a wife who's in a happy, healthy marriage, there are some things that money simply cannot buy you. And people who haven't experienced that can't even begin to tell you. They don't have no idea. That's why they can't talk about it. They literally have no idea. They don't have the content. They don't have the context. They never experienced it. So they can't even tell you. Okay? So that's what I would say. I would say, you talking about perfect, and a gap is 50,000, and perfect, and we're talking about $100,000 versus $150,000, that sounds like $240,000 household to me. That has a potential to raise great family, to have two parties be happy with each other because they sound like they generally like each other, and they weren't just in there for the money. It sounds like a $240,000 household that has the potential, if they come together, to do even more than that if they're intentional about it. And then get away from these hating, bitter people who pretend on social media. Get away from them. Don't take no advice from them. Okay? All right. Take care.